Australia has had only 450 deaths from the virus. And only 13 of those deaths are from people under age 60. For comparison, Canada has had more than 9,000 deaths. So if it were proportionate, Australia would be at 6,000 deaths, not even at 600. But they are panicking like nothing I have ever seen in the free world. Not just the politicians and the health bosses, but the police and the army is actually on mask patrol in the Australian state of Victoria. I'm not kidding. Look at this craziness.
He's choking me! He's choking me! What the f***? Come on. Oh! Get off of me! Get off!
Let go of his vest. Let go of his vest.
He's choking me! He's choking me! What the f***?
Let go of his vest.
Get off me! Get the f***!
Stop.
You bitch! Get the f*** off me! What are you doing?
You just kicked me.
Choking me, dude! What the f***? You're f***ed in the head! You're f***ed. What the f*** are you doing to me?
Well,
What
yeah,
have I
right
done?
now.
What have I done?
You just
Tell me
kicked
what
me.
I've done. What have I done wrong?
You just kicked
No.
me in the chest. Stop.
Yeah, but you're choking her. As a man on a guy, as a man on a girl, as a man on a girl, and you choked her. For what? For a mask? For not having a mask? Look how pathetic you are. She doesn't have a mask. Are you serious? Are you serious? Just for not having a mask?
Yeah, I think they've lost their minds down under. Well, we have up here too. Look at this. Made in America insanity. Sorry, there's no medical basis for that. None. No virology basis for that, no epidemiology, and of course there's a strong mental health basis for not doing that. That's what crazy people do, and if you do it, it actually makes you crazy. That's not a normal way to live. Certainly not a normal way how to show kids how to live. But Australia is what we're talking about today. Let me show you the stats from their government's official pandemic page. I'm looking at the chart called COVID-19 deaths by age group and sex. Nobody under age 30, just nobody. Now, 2 guys under age 40 and another 2 guys under age 50. So that is a grand total of 4 people under age 50 in an entire country of 25 million souls. Like I say, kangaroos and lightning are a greater risk. It's true if you're 80 to 90 years old and you're in a senior's home, just like if you're in Quebec, just like if you're in New York, get out, get out. They'll kill you. Or maybe that's why you were put in a senior's home to begin with and why your pro-choice kids and grandkids instructed the senior's home to do not revive. That's what's really happening in a lot of those places. This virus doesn't even kill seniors. It kills seniors who have been warehoused in pro-choice, pro-euthanasia facilities. I'm not happy about it. I don't want seniors to die. But don't tell me it's a pandemic. It's not. I don't see this statistic broken out. But looking at that graph in Australia, the average age appears to be 85, which is the same as it's been across the West. In British Columbia, for example, the average person who died from the virus is exactly 85. I don't see these mortalities in Australia cross-referenced with pre-existing conditions, as we've seen in some jurisdictions in Canada, like BC. The majority of people who die over age 85 have been seniors with 2 or 3 pre-existing conditions. So if you're dying from a flu at age 90, when you had 3 preconditions, just a regular flu, that would usually be called dying of old age. Now it's a pandemic because of political and financial reasons. People die. You've got diabetes, you've got heart disease, you've got lung disease, and a flu is the 4th and final compounding function. That used to be called dying of old age. Sorry, please let me know if you disagree with my opinion on this. But if this were actually about medical science, can I ask you why the mask bylaws were all brought in across Canada, all within a week or 2 of each other, but only starting at the end of July and beginning of August? After the pandemic was over, the pandemic peaked in mid-April. Don't tell me that it's math or science that every jurisdiction brought in the mask laws at the same time, August 1st, basically. Pandemic's over, but the PR machine needs to rev up again, so masks are ideal. They make people scared and alienated and alert. Again, it's unnatural, so it agitates. Agitprop is the Soviet word for agitation propaganda. Masks are a form of agitprop. If you can be convinced to stay at home for 2 weeks to slow the spread, or 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and that 15 days soon becomes 15 weeks, and it looks like it's going to be 15 months. If you can be convinced of that, if you can be convinced to wear masks even when it's absurd, like outdoor, there's a rule in Banff to wear your mask outdoors in the fresh mountain air. If you can be made to fear your neighbor and snitch on your neighbor, what wouldn't you do? That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.